Resident Alien Season 2, Episode 1. It's back. I really liked the first season. It was one of my favorite shows of last year. It was just so fun and creative and funny and engaging. And I wanted to talk about it more. Just because it just struck the right nerve of being X-Files-y, Third Rock from the Sun. It was just the perfect combination of taking an intellectual property that already exists, doing something different with it, and making it work. Great performances, great story, so much heart, so much engagement. I really liked the first season. And I was super surprised. I am still super surprised it's getting a second season. Because it's weird to me. You know, I'm honestly amazed that this show is finding an audience. I just think it doesn't have the capacity for it, but it's really cool and it's really fun. This episode was really cool. I just loved coming back to this world and exploring everything again. The characters are engaging, the world is just super fun, and it does an okay job of reestablishing its status quo. So, the end of the first season, we see that Harry's going off to space, and Max is in the spacecraft with him. We learn that Max kind of causes a ruckus, and they have to kind of just crash back on Earth. Somehow pretty damn close to where they started originally in the baseball field in Patience. Okay, that makes sense. I'm fine with that. But because of this crash, Harry has amnesia. So the first half of this story for him is pretty much waking up in a hospital. The doctors think he's crazy because he's rambling on about being an alien. It leads to some great humor and some great bits. And again, I don't want to go through every single bit with you because we could be here all day. Just stuff like the big bear in the sky and how we consider your sun's rotation the big, boob, and Earth is the nipple or the sun's the nipple. It's funny stuff. It is super good. And it goes without saying, if we do weekly reviews of this show, I will reiterate it in every single video we talk about. Alan Tudyk is giving the performance of his life. There has never been a role that Alan Tudyk has done where I have not been impressed. This is probably one of... I will say this till the day I die. Alan Tudyk is the most underrated actor on screen because the physical performance he is putting in is so hard to get right. It looks so authentic, so creepy, and not every actor could do it. Some of the best actors in the business, Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, they couldn't do the physical work he is putting into this performance because it is just the perfect amount of timing and awkwardness and cringe and voice patterns that hardly any other actor could pull this off authentically. It is so good. It is so funny. And it works so well. It's great. So the hospital bit's funny. There's a scene where he rips up a girl's octopus because he's like, "You stuffed my brother!" And he just rips it, and it's amazing. And then they sedate him, and it's just great. And then part of the theme of this entire episode is just like how memories affect humans and why they always dwell on the negative and how he's learning to interact with that. And he learns that he kind of loves people. He loves Asta, and he kind of learns to love Max a little bit. But because of that, he's having his memories come back, and he just remembers watching, was it Lenny Briscoe? It's an old detective show. So when his memory comes back, he thinks he's the detective from the show, and he thinks that Asta's the hooker sidekick from the show. And it's funny. It's a good bit because it works. And again, it could be so annoying, but it's just really funny. I kind of like it too. Asta's a great character. I think she had so much fun stuff to do in the first season. This entire episode for her was just, I'm trying to keep the genie in the bottle, and it was just great. So she's doing some investigation to find where Harry is, and she finds him. She's like, I gotta get this guy somewhere back home to keep him safe. It makes for some really great performances, and I love how it culminates in a beautiful ending where she's talking with Darcy, and they're just having a nice little moment where they're riding that weird tandem bike, and it's cool. And she's like, I am under so much stress right now. Ethan hasn't shown up. He's the new doctor. I'm so stressed trying to get Harry back in just wherever the hell Harry is. It's a cool moment. She doesn't get a lot of play this episode, which I get. We're setting up the new status quo here. Things are going well. But it just makes for some fun, compelling television, especially when she's playing off of Alan Tudyk, who is just having a ball, and it works so well. The octopus in the tank does talk to her, so his name is number 42. Nathan Fillion is the voice of this octopus. it talks to her. So we realize that octopuses can talk to everybody. They just choose not to because they're dicks. And I love that too. It is just such a funny bit, and it works so well. It's great. So a smaller part of the story stole it for me because there's this kind of like B plot with the mayor, who is Ben Hawthorne, and his wife Kate. At the end of the last season, the FBI people who were coming in to try to find Harry broke into their house to talk to Max. They beat them up. Like, Ben and Kate beat up those people, and it reinvigorated their passions for each other. And in every scene they are so fucking horny and just wanting to jump on each other at every moment. Literally, when Max and Asta are in the kitchen, they are just making out, ready to go right there. When they're in the sheriff's office, they're ready to go right there. Like, Kate's just like, I am so turned on right now. I don't know if we could describe this person anymore. They're describing the woman who they beat up's body when they get to the word lips. Kate just freaks out. She's like, I gotta go. I just adore it. And then you see them later on in a montage scene. They're in their bedroom when they're trying to explore what to do with this newfound passion. And the awkwardness of them just exploring each other's sexuality is so good. It is so funny. So when the dad comes in to talk to Max and he's just like wearing the cowboy hat, oh, it is so funny. It is great. And even Max too, him and Sarik, they're having some fun stuff going on there. So they're trying to like guard the spaceship that crashed on the baseball field. And later on, we see that Harry will turn it into like a weird pod, and he's like, all I got left in my spaceship is space balls. It's just big balls in a can, a box of space balls. It's great. It's such a great show. I love it. But we see at the end of the episode that because Max went into space and Sarik was trying to find like, are there any weird side effects when I be the first person to go to Mars? Like, did anything happen to you? He's like, no, I'm fine. But he takes off his shirt and Max just has a full set of chest hair. He's like 8. He's just like, what the fuck? And it's like super funny. It is, oh, I love this show. It is just so cute and weird, and it makes for some great stuff. And that kind of, you see like a nice moment too where Harry and Max, they like reunite, and Max is like, you love me, you saved me from our impending doom, like you actually care about me. He's like, shut up, I don't care about you. He's like, I know you are, but what am I? It's like, if you want to be my father, fine, act like it, because my dad loves me and you love me. And he's like, fine, I will act like your father. And you get like the most awkward spanking session you've ever seen. It's funny. And it's just such a good show. It's amazing. Again, I am just super amazed that this is all working because of how really silly it is. If you just have less talent, less fun stuff happening, this could fall apart super fast and super easily. But the fact that it's working just goes to show you some cool shit's happening, man. I like it. Not a lot of Darcy in this episode. She kind of plays at the baseball field. We see that her weird friend, like the clingy one that's like takes her look, steals her hairstyle. It's fun. She goes to see Ethan, and Ethan's not there. We see that like the FBI agent's in the house. It's like, I'm gonna have to kill this girl, but he doesn't. So that's kind of cool. I like Darcy's character. I think how do I put this properly? Darcy's a great example of the big fish in the small pond. Because she could have left if something didn't happen to her, and she could have gotten away from this world. But the fact that she stays and she's content with that is beautiful in and of itself. And seeing her kind of become a prominent figure in this community just goes to show you that sometimes being the big fish in a small pond doesn't hurt you. I'm sure she'd have a successful life doing what she did, but it's cool to see. It is cool to see. I do like that. And again, Darcy and Asta, I think, are just so interesting to me. They're just two characters that if this was 20 years ago, these characters would be written so differently. But the fact that they are how they are and they act how they act, I think is just impressive to see for modern storytelling. I do like that a lot. We also get the reveal from number 42, which, is that a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide? It has to be. Why wouldn't it be? If it is, why wouldn't it be? Like, that has to be something. We get a reference, and I don't know why. Maybe. I guess it is Hitchhikers. But, okay, so number 42 says, guess what? Your people are going to come. You didn't finish your job, they're going to come. So now it looks like Harry's going to defend Earth from his people? Is that the route we're going here? Maybe. That's fun too. I could see that being a fun story. But overall, this episode is great. The sheriff didn't do much. We see him like dealing with the fact that he lost somebody in his life. It could be a brother, a partner, a mother, something like that. His father comes to comfort him. I do like that. The sheriff is just a great character. Every character here is just funny and silly, and they all have so much great stuff to do, and I just adore every second of this show, and it's such a fun watch. And if you're not watching Resident Alien, I am encouraging you, I am imploring you, you should check out this show, because so much of it is just subtle brilliance and over-the-top performances that are deserving of awards. I will always say this, the fact that Alan Tudyk is not even in consideration in any of the award shows for this performance goes to show you that genre filmmaking is still overlooked as a creative medium. Maybe not creative medium, it's overlooked as like an art piece, because I'm telling you, hardly any other actor could pull off the performance he's doing. I don't even think Jim Carrey could do this as effectively. Jim Carrey would be too over the top. The subtlety to Alan Tudyk's performance is what makes this work, and this episode is a great way to bring us back to the world. We see that at the end, Harry kidnaps 42 and he runs away with them. Great capper. It's a great way to end that. Super fun episode. I cannot wait to talk more about Resident Alien as we go through this show. So that is going to do it for this review of the first episode of the second season of Resident Alien. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.